Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwantner and welcome to Selling Power's Daily Report. Today we continue our conversation with Steve Martin, the author of Heavy Hitter Sales Wisdom. Steve, you compare in your book selling to warfare. What is the analogy? I don't understand.
Soldiers and salespeople are actually on a mission to destroy the lives of their competitors. A soldier uses bayonets, bombs, and bullets to eliminate his enemy. And a salesperson uses their mouth, their most important competitive weapon, and most importantly, develops a mental strategy by which they win over the account.
What you're saying is that it's more a strategic analogy where in warfare you need to have a strategy for outmaneuvering your enemy, and in sales you need to think ahead several moves in order to gain the sale and eliminate the competitor.
They're very similar. In fact, when you think about warfare and a general, what they do is they plan the grand strategy to win over the war. And then if they translate that grand strategy into a battle plan that they execute with other people. And then from the battle plan, they need specific battlefield tactics to get them in position for the next battle. And a salesperson does the exact same thing. They have to create a grand strategy to win over the account, translate that into specific battles, and the battles could be customer meetings and presentations and demonstrations and site visits. And then they have to use battlefield tactics, could be emails, phone calls, sending out manuals. They do that in order to get to the next battle.
Well, Steve, in your book you compare military strategies with business strategies. Can you give me an example for, you mentioned Sun Tzu. How does that strategy find an equivalent in today's sales strategies in business?
Sun Tzu basically said that if you know yourself and you know the enemy, you need not fear 100 battles. A perfect example is USA Today. Prior to USA Today, all newspapers were flat, black and white. They completely had a different strategy. They were going to have a colorful, easy to read, eye-catching newspaper. No paragraph is over 3 sentences. In fact, their saying is a wealth of information in an economy of words. They truly understand how customers think today. They want information quickly and concisely.
What about Napoleon? Do you have an example for that?
Bonaparte was a great strategist in developing new ways of doing things. Like, for example, he took a cannon and loaded it with grape shot. And the grape shot had a more destructive firing power. So when you think about someone like Red Bull, you have created an entirely new energy drink market space. That's billions of dollars today.
Smaller can, more caffeine.
Smaller can, more caffeine, higher price. Totally contradictory to what Coke and Pepsi, the giants of the time, were doing.
And then he linked it with high energy events and got free publicity for that.
Perfect.
Steve, how about George Patton? How would that apply?
Patton wasn't so much a strategist as he would just an absolutely fabulous battlefield tactician. And so one company that comes to mind is Southwest Airlines. Just think how they've differentiated themselves from the customer's point of view.
So when would you apply Sun Tzu versus Patton?
There are two major philosophies of war strategy. There's the direct and the indirect. The direct is a brute force frontal attack on your enemy. And in sales, the equivalent of a direct attack is we're going to march off to the account armed with facts and features and functions and benefits, and we're going to talk about my company, my product, and myself. Then there's the indirect strategy. And the indirect strategy is based upon finessing the enemy and overwhelming the enemy psychologically. And in sales, we can do the same thing because we have to work that way. Today's customers are smarter, more intelligent, have more options than ever. The brute force frontal attack to convince a customer to buy will not work. You need a different indirect approach to get them on your side.
Well, Steve, I want to thank you for sharing your ideas, how we can apply the minds of military strategists in business in order to win more sales. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.